An update to our top story. The FBI announcing it stopped a plot to attack the White House UFC event. The Secret Service spoke about this at an unrelated event.
This is still an active, ongoing investigation. Just because we're done with Freedom 250 or that particular event doesn't mean we're going to stop. There are still suspects at large, and we're going to work it until everyone's been identified. I'd say it was unique due to the numbers involved, the level of planning involved. It was an active plot, yes, involving purported claim to be planned to use drones, snipers, etc. We've seen a significant increase in threat cases. We're up 40% this year in threat cases.
David Spun is live in Washington. New images just unsealed. David, what did you find?
Well, Kaylee, this is a story that deals with many different suspects in many different states, and we are learning, looking through these documents, that a mother in Ohio had the courage to call authorities on her 19-year-old, and she expressed some concern, and she may have blown this entire case open. His name is 19-year-old Tycen Proper, and he was picked up after she called authorities on June 10th, just a few days ago. This was 4 days before the UFC fight. We want to show some images. The first image, I believe, that we're going to show is a rifle that belonged to her son, according to authorities. The other is a screen grab, several screen grabs showing aerial images and maps of the Washington, D.C. area and discussing where snipers possibly would be related to the White House. This is all evidence that is posted on an official court docket right now, an official government document. But I will say 19-year-old Tycen Proper's mother called police after she was concerned about his purchases and communications with people online. It then led them to conversations that he allegedly had with someone named Brian Roa and Michael Thomas in Southern California. They appeared yesterday before a federal judge. We're also told that there is a suspect in Nebraska and one in Missouri as well. So what we're being told here, Kaylee, and everyone on the couch, is that this alleged plot consisted of a plan to have drones that were actually armed with some type of firepower go and attack buildings around the White House. And once people left, they were going to have snipers nearby attacking some of the people leaving. This was a serious plot. The FBI, the Secret Service investigating this right now. And as you heard the deputy director of the Secret Service right there say that they believe there are more people out there. Right now, though, 5 people facing these charges. And it's incredible to go through these documents and see what happened. But it appears that it was this 19-year-old's mother in Ohio who really spilled the beans on this entire case by letting people know that she had some concerns about her son, Kaylee.
Thank goodness that mom did that. And that 19-year-old is the one I mentioned who was alleged to use his graduation money to purchase these weapons. Wow, David, thank you for this update.
Thanks, Kaylee.
Paul, I want to pull up that image. So that is one of the weapons, but it's jarring when you look at these aerial photos. Yeah. It looks like an aerial photo of the White House ellipse, and they are plotting where to put snipers with these photos and where drones should be launched as well.
Yeah, so I would make a couple of quick points. Number one, this mother is a hero. She saved lives. It sounds like, look, we had cases like this where we would go talk to the parents and literally say to them, you have a 17-year-old that's going down a very, very bad path here. And you'd rely on the parents to try to get out in front of it. And sometimes it doesn't work. The kid turns 18, and then you have to arrest him because he's trying to go overseas to fight with ISIS. Secondly, this is going to be the overt acts that they're going to lean on, and there's going to be more. What do I mean? You got a conspiracy. For a conspiracy, you need an overt act to show that it was active. Their defense is going to be, we were just talking, we were just expressing our dissatisfaction and frustration. No, when you have the meeting of the minds for a plot like this, and then you take, that's the operative term, an overt act, then you got enough to charge with probable cause. Surveillance photos, things like that, overt act.
Emily, and let me just read a little bit more about this 19-year-old Tycen, Proper. Allegedly spent the $3,000 I mentioned of his graduation money to purchase lots of ammunition, guns, extra magazines, and other things for the alleged attack. He had quit his job to meet up with people he had met online to conduct missions and recons and his mom's phone call stopped this.
Indeed, missions and recon. I mean, this guy was radical. He's like, I also note that in his interview with the FBI, he immediately gave up the two names in California. Those are the men, 24-year-old and a 31-year-old that we were talking about, Roa and Michael Allen Thomas, that according to our brain room here, that individual had a prior for unlawful carrying in December 2014 in El Paso County. The same report suggests he may have served time in state prison. And the other one was a security guard whose license expired in April. So these guys had access to weapons unlawfully that had been expired. But the whole point is they were known to law enforcement for various things. And this guy in Ohio thought he was going to go play Rambo.
And they found this weapon on your screen, Kennedy. They also found ammunition estimated by law enforcement to be in the thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Wow, it is not easy to get ammunition. I mean, it depends what state you're in. In New York here, it's almost impossible. I mean, you have to go through a background check, which is a pain in the keister. So that's a lot of ammunition for one 19-year-old. It's also, you know, especially under the Obama administration, they tried to make ammunition so much more prohibitively expensive so people wouldn't be able to buy it. I just want to say shout out to the nosy moms. Don't feel bad going through your kids' stuff. That's your job, and they'll have plenty of freedom when they leave the house. But as long as they're living with you, feel free to snoop, girl.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Great point.
Yeah, I mean, my heart breaks for the mom. Imagine having to call law enforcement on your own son and then discovering that this was his plot and this was his plan. I also look at that gun on her screen, an American flag. And what makes me sad is you look at all these young people involved in this plot, this is probably their idea of patriotism. Because of the brain rot in our countries, both in schools and online, that they think that carrying out, trying to assassinate the president or whatever the motive we end up finding out was, that somehow that is patriotic. That is not how I view, or I know anyone on this couch views patriotism. So I think that's the deeper problem when earlier, you know, during the A block, we were talking about the extremism in this country. But they probably think that that's their patriotic duty.
Yes, well, more details coming in by the moment. We will keep you updated on this really chilling story. More Outnumbered in just a moment.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.